Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Mani, as always, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Wednesday Wisdom webinars of the Bombay Management Association. Some of us may be aware that we are all hoping that the cyclone that has hit Tamil Nadu and particularly Chennai settles down quickly with minimum damage to the citizens of Tamil Nadu and Chennai in particular. Some of you are aware that this evening we had a Padma Shri awardee, Dr. Sudha Raghunathan, who was supposed to address us on the Guru Shishya Parampara. Because of the power outage in Chennai particularly, she had to obviously opt out because it was a live program with her. Not wanting to lose the continuity of the regular Wednesday Wisdom webinars, we did a brainstorming in the executive committee. And lo and behold, grateful to Arun that he volunteered that he would take up a session this evening at just about 8 hours notice. And he said, I would like to talk about authentic conversations, which I believe is one of his favorite topics. I don't know about conversations, Arun, but your entire gesture was very authentic and it warmed our hearts. And a special word of gratitude to you from all of us at the Bombay Management Association. You are, of course, part of the family, but sometimes, as we know, a member of the family goes beyond the call of duty to rise to the occasion. Sincerely appreciate your gesture. And I'm so glad to tell you that despite the short notice, we had about 50 people registering. I'm sure they'll be coming in and joining us, but we never punish people who are punctual. So we start bang on time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you a little about Arun. What I discovered today, very interesting, though it's a small, minuscule tidbit, is he's had the unique privilege of acting in a film called Swadesh with none other than Shah Rukh Khan. So, if you don't manage to get Shah Rukh Khan's autograph, next time you can get it from Arun when you meet him. That was, of course, in lighter vein to set the mood for the evening. Arun himself is an accomplished trainer. Over 2 decades has been training people across the length and breadth of the country. To date, he must have trained about 30,000 people in his various areas of expertise, mainly in soft skills and training skills. Arun is also the founder of Training Tree and also the Association of Trainers. Association of Trainers has this unique philosophy that they would like to develop more trainers in the fraternity so that we can reach out to more people and add to their knowledge, skills, attitudes. Wonderful work that Arun is doing. He's almost worked with the who's who of different large industry segments, be it Navratna like Hindustan Petroleum, a most admired FMCG like Hindustan Unilever Limited, or the most admired engineering giant Larsen and Tubro, or of course, as they say so proudly in India, Hamara Bajaj Auto. On that note, I welcome Hamara Arun, a member of the executive committee of the Bombay Management Association, and request him to take us through this learning journey on authentic communication. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, Professor Mani, and it's my privilege. I'm so happy to see so many of us here, and those who want to learn authentic conversation, understand it, and imbibe in their day-to-day life. So here we go, and very interesting conversation follows. That's for sure. So let's see where and how we are going to make a beginning. So here we are. Uh, well, the first thing. So, as we want to start any session with icebreakers, here also we go with that. And let me ask you a question. This question goes to everyone. Have you ever got an opportunity to be on television? So I'm fortunate to be in the Bollywood, doing few films, a few serials, few ads here and there. How many of you got any chance to be on television? Anyone? Okay, Ashima
How
says
would you
yes.
like them to respond in the chat box?
Okay, whatever way you can. So you can use voice, unmute yourself and use voice, chat box, anything that's comfortable to you. So Ashima said yes. So Ashima, would you like to share something about that?
Okay. So I just participated in one of the game shows that Shekhar Suman used to host, and I got an opportunity to answer two questions. So that was my stint with television. Apart from that,
Okay.
I've done a print ad for HT many years back.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Anyone else who got such opportunity? Any opportunity to be on television? Okay.
All of you are allowed to unmute and speak. The provision has been given to you. Just unmute and speak.
So Ashima, I want to
Yeah.
understand that how you felt about it, especially later on. Did something like that happen that someone told you that, hey, I saw someone on TV, was that you? Or something like that, hey, I saw you and I was so happy to see that you are there on TV. Anything like that happened later on?
So I think before going on anything, I had told a lot of people that I will be going for the show. Apart from that, since now we're talking, then I now realized during college days I've gone for Karan Thapar's show also. I went for Rajdeep Sardesai show also now in audience, and we asked questions there also. So the big fight
Right.
and the line of fire also
So
both
what was it
went
in
for.
terms of
So before going, you
feelings and
said that
emotions?
it's like an adrenaline rush, especially when you get an option to ask something or respond to something. Definitely, you feel
And do you think
your 30 seconds of stardom.
and do you think that all the people here in this room deserve to
Yeah,
get such positive feeling?
absolutely. Everybody.
Right. So if I can't show you the entire movie, can I at least show you a trailer?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm sure everybody would like to see that.
Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to get into the breakout room, and what will happen there? Uh, you will find a partner there. So in one breakout room, there will be two persons. One of you, mutually you have to decide that who is going to play the role of celebrity and who is going to become anchor person. In order to become a celebrity, you don't have to become an imaginary celebrity. You have to become a celebrity in your own real life role. That means if you're a trainer, if you're a manager, whoever you are, in your profile, you have to assume either you are already a celebrity. If not, you have to assume that you have become a celebrity and you'll be invited on the television. And the anchor person, what is the role of anchor person? Anchor person is going to take your interview, right? And in this interview, the success of the anchor person depends on how deep this person can dig and find deeper information about the celebrity, right? So one of you become celebrity, one of you become anchor person. Anchor person may ask questions, dig into deeper and find out deeper personality of this person. After that, there will be role reversal, and in the reversed role, now anchor person will become celebrity, celebrity will become anchor person, and the same process has to be repeated. In order to do this wonderful job, I am going to give you plenty of time, and the time available to you will be 90, 90, all 90 seconds. Okay, if you're disappointed, I'm going to make you happy. 90 seconds one way. That means for the first part of interview, 90 seconds, role reversal, and another 90 seconds. So overall, you will have 180 seconds, right? Now, I think everyone is happy. Great. So are we all ready to go to breakout rooms? You will be pulled back after 3 minutes. So within that period, we have to do our job. Uh, I hope by now everyone is very clear about what is to be done. And here we go. You have to click on join as soon as the join button appears, and you will be sent to a breakout room. You will find your partner there. Have a nice discussion, and we'll come back and talk about it. Few people could not join the breakout room. Please let me know if you could see the button called join. Please click on that. You will be able to reach there. Okay, someone in room 8 is needing help. I'm going there.
I'm ready. Come on, get ready. Put on your shoes. Hurry up. Let's go down.
Welcome back, everyone. And hope some of you had some struggle, in the sense there was nobody in your room, because some people could not join because of maybe network issue, maybe they could not get the join button, and some of you must have had a nice time. So maybe turn out to people. You had 3 members, lucky fellow. Okay. So I'm eager to listen to your experiences, whether it was this side or that side. What was your experience? Anybody?
Yeah,
Can I
it was
go?
a good experience, sir.
Yes, Amit, you can go.
Yes, sir. It was a good experience talking with very new people, and yeah, I talked with Miss Lakshmi Gupta and Miss Rajsri, and it was a nice experience.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share?
Here, Praveen, can I go next?
Yes, please. Praveen.
Arey, Arun ji,
Hmm.
there was a fundamental flaw in this exercise
Okay.
because आपने कहा कि दूसरा celebrity है.
हाँ.
अब तक मुझे बताइए कौन सा celebrity कभी time पे आया है? So the biggest problem was my celebrity only arrived about 90 seconds into the conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so anyway, I was able to interview him, and
Okay.
he told me about his life history, and he's a famous star in the
Okay.
film industry.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, since they are so happy talking about themselves, we ended up only talking about him. He did not
Okay.
manage to interview me. And when I asked him about all his affairs,
Yeah.
he suddenly clammed up and he said, "I don't have any. Now, I don't know how to believe."
Okay. Wonderful. So nice experience. Great. So कुछ खट्टा कुछ मीठा ऐसा अनुभव हुआ हमें उन breakout rooms में. Wonderful. And now it's time for us to understand that what exactly happened in communication and how we are going to connect this to our today's topic. So once again, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share a few thoughts with you with the help of my slides. Today, our objective with this session is to enhance the value of conversation and communicate to command respect, reliability, and trust. I will emphasize on these 3 words: respect, reliability, and trust. That's our objective here. And let's see how best we can do that. What is the roadmap of this session? Very simple. First, we will try to understand what is authentic conversation. Second thing, what is the benefit of authentic conversation? Post that, what are the difficulties? What are the roadblocks which may come into our way when we are trying to do so? And finally, the most important one is how to develop authentic conversation. That's the part of solution which we all are looking at. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share with you one very interesting clip, and with the help of that clip, we will try to make out some thought related to communication, conversation, what happens, how things may go right, how many things may go wrong, and everything like that. So please enjoy this clip, and when we come back, we are going to talk about it, that what is your thought on this entire process of conversation.
अरे बेटा, बस इतना समझ लो कि घर में बेटी सीने पर पत्थर की सिल की तरह होती है. बसंती का ब्याह हो जाए तो चैन की सांस लूं.
हाँ, सच कहा मौसिया, बड़ा बोझ है आप.
लेकिन बेटा, इस बोझ को कोई कुएं में तो फेंक नहीं देता.
2 दिन में छूट जाएगी।
अरे बेटा, मुझे बुढ़िया को समझा रहे हो? ये शराब और जुए की आदत किसी की छूटी है आज तक?
मौसी, आप वीरू को
एक बात की दाद दूंगी बेटा, भले 100 बुराइयां हैं तुम्हारे दोस्त में, फिर भी तुम्हारे मुंह से उसके लिए तारीफ ही निकलती है।
Well, friends, I hope you all enjoyed the clip and now the reflection on what a conversation can do. Can it make or break? Your views.
If you have got a good friend like Amitabh Bachchan,
Hmm.
you can take a conversation anywhere.
Yeah. Yes, Rishi.
It's not just what you say, but how you say.
Yes, very important, right?
The way we present the things, because this is what is the current media which is doing on. It's all the power of media. How are
Yes.
they presenting themselves? Like, is it they're presenting it like अच्छा उन्होंने किया है, अच्छा उन्होंने ही किया है. So it is the way.
Yeah.
Just a question mark.
With the question.
Yes. 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 So this particular conversation, would you put it in the category of authentic conversation, or would you put it in non-authentic conversation?
It is authentic.
Okay. Why do you think so?
Because whatever is to be told, both sides they express themselves.
या तो वो जो अमिताभ बच्चन का रोल है, उसने सच मतलब जो कुछ कहा सब अनडिस्प्यूटेबल था, सब सही बात थी. So it was authentic, right? Was it really authentic? What about the intent?
Yeah, the objective is not achieved.
I mean, I don't know whether his objective was achieved or not, but with looking at the intent, do we believe that it was authentic?
So Jay's
No.
objective was not
No.
met, but
Wasn't.
Jay's objective was met, but Veeru's objective wasn't met.
Yeah. Right. So friends, that is where sometimes there is a very thin line between what is an authentic conversation and what is not. And this is where we need to really go little deeper. And from there, we try to understand that what exactly we mean by authentic conversation and what is not so authentic conversation, and how to convert our conversations into authentic conversation. So if we want to define authentic conversation, these are few thoughts that comes to my mind. First is authentic conversation is real. It's actual. It's pure in its essence. It's absolute genuine. It is original. And can we visualize it? So let's say if I say, I say authentic South Indian food. Can you visualize that?
Yes.
Or when I say authentic Kanjivaram sari.
Yes.
Can we visualize
Yes.
that fabric? Can you sort of feel that fabric? So usually the authentic conversation is going to be unquestionable. We can't question. We say, yeah, this is authentic. That means no question asked. So there are a few words that are associated with authentic. And when we come to conversation, these are the words that are connected with conversation. When I want to express my thoughts, my views, when I want to understand other people's mind, then what we do? We speak and we listen, we write and we read, and we also communicate with the help of our body language. Will that complete the package of communication? So a conversation which is speaking, listening, writing, reading, body language, will that complete the conversation or the communication? Or do we need this also? That is connection to the inner self. Is that also required?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, we have to, when we put these two words together, we have discussed authentic separately, conversation separately. When we put it together, these are few thoughts that comes to my mind, and I would like you to think about it. And if you feel that yes, you agree, tell me. If you think you disagree, then also please tell me. When we talk of authentic conversation, the thought in my mind is that there has to be a congruence between inner self. I may have some of the thoughts which are inside me, which you can't see, which you don't know. And there's some behavior, some communication which I'm doing from outside. Is it same? Right? And in order to do that, do I need some courage to be vulnerable? Because one of the thought that comes to my mind, the moment I decide that, okay, I want to be authentic in my conversation, the first doubt that comes to my mind is, will it create some kind of loss to me? Is it possible? So suppose I don't like your face and I just tell you on your face that you look ugly. Now I have a fear of repercussion, that there will be something go wrong if I'm so frank. So can I be little vulnerable? So I'm not saying that be completely frank and tell everything to everyone, but I'm saying that with this the thought comes that I have to have little bit of courage to be vulnerable. That means some of my weaknesses may come out in the open, may be exposed, right? Another interesting thing about authentic conversation is there are layers of authenticity. It's not a switch which can be put on and off. So it is not, am I authentic? Am I not? I may be somewhere in between. And the ratio may differ from person to person, situation to situation. So there are various layers of authenticity. And is it just happens, or is it my choice? So here my take would be, it's an absolute conscious choice in our mind. It's I who decide as to up to what level I want to become authentic. Another interesting factor of this is that authenticity is always in the present moment. For example, before I came here, I decided that I would be extremely authentic. But when I arrived here, I saw the situation, maybe that finally my mind changed and I landed up not being that authentic. Similarly, for future, I plan something. Is it going to happen or not? Am I going to be as authentic as I wanted to be? Is always doubtful. So the conclusion is that authenticity is always in the present moment. And another important factor is that it is a process of discovery. That means in a way we can't create authenticity. We can just discover once it happens. Because as we discussed, it is not about past and present, it is past and future, it's about present. And present can be only discovered. You can't plan it. You may make effort, but you can't actually totally plan it, and nor you can help the past. So it is the process of discovery. I discover whether I was authentic or I was not. So that is the entire thought process behind this, that the key feature of being authentic or not non-authentic. Now, how do I know whether I'm authentic or not? So we can feel this in our body. Please try to recollect some moments where you think you were absolute authentic. What happened in your body? How you felt at that point of time? And just opposite of that, some moments, some incidents where you were non-authentic. And in that moment, what happened to your body? So there are signals in your body which tells you, are you authentic? Are you not? Are you feeling comfortable? Are you not feeling comfortable? So I'm sure that all of you would agree with me that whenever there is a complete peace inside, you can say, wow, I was absolute authentic. And when your inside is so disturbed, then you may say, yeah, I was not authentic, or because I was not authentic, I was not comfortable. Now, this is not exactly the way it is going to happen, but it is somewhat indication of what is happening. Another factor is that authenticity includes all kind of experiences. It may be pleasant, it may be unpleasant. So there is no demarcation over here. In both department, we can be authentic and we can be non-authentic. Next factor, which is very important, is that authenticity means I have to honor myself. And at the same time, I have to create a balance and have a sense of care and empathy for other people also. Now, you may say it is difficult. I would say, yes, I agree that it is difficult, but it is not impossible. Now, why we are talking about all these things? What will be my benefit even if I become authentic? So friends, here are few pointers which are very, very important. The first one is I would be able to express myself even when I fully know that you are not going to agree with this. And you may be an authority, and still I would be able to say what I want to say. I can ask from you what I want from you. I will not hesitate. And another important factor is that I will have the courage to live authentic life in society. Now, what is authentic life in society? We'll come to that. But do you agree that a lot of time we don't live an authentic life in society? We don't have the courage to do that. And one factor that is common with many of us, can you say no when you want to say no? Or you'll end up saying yes when actually you wanted to say no. So these are the things we are going to learn today. And we are going to come to this, that what blocks our authenticity, but I will come back to that. Before that, I want to share few thoughts with you. And can we reflect on what we discussed so far? Amit, you got something to say, please. Yes, Amit.
Amit sir, you are in mute.
Sir, can you show the slide? I think the second last.
Okay, I will do that. Here I go. Please tell me which one we are looking at.
Yeah. Last one. The previous.
This one?
If it is slide number 4, I think it's slide number 6. 5 or 6.
Okay. Okay, maybe I can come to it a little later.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
When you discussed about how do I know I am authentic, you said I'm sure you will agree with me. Does that not question your authenticity? Why do you have to use this phrase? I'm sure you will agree with me.
Yeah. So this is where, as we discussed, that there are layers of authenticity. So maybe that at this moment, I'm not 100% authentic. I have little self-doubt, because of which these words came out of my mouth. Right? And my effort is to be 100% authentic. But can I be all the time? Maybe, may not be. So all the time being authentic is so difficult. It's a very difficult target. But yeah, can we be so most of the time? Yeah, that is what is more practical, more probable. So I hope I was able to answer. If not, I will come back to you and I will make effort to give a little more explanation on that. Yeah. May I come back to my slides?
Please.
Yeah. Now, let's understand what is that blocks our authenticity. So these are few pointers which will not allow us to be authentic. First is the conditioning, the way we have been conditioned. I'm sure everyone saw few pictures on WhatsApp where an elephant or a horse is tied with a small rope with a chair or on a tree, and they don't try to get away from that because they have been conditioned. Similarly, most of us have got a lot of conditioning in our life. We always have a bias related to what is right and what is wrong. But the interesting thing is, what is right for me may be wrong for you, and what is wrong for me may be right for you. So it's a perspective differs from person to person. Another thing is that we want to please others, especially the near and dear ones. I don't want to say something which I feel very honestly because I have a fear that you may not like it. You will feel bad. Another very important factor, very big factor is image. I want to create a image, a particular image in society, but I don't want to break it. I have the fear that it can be broken. So what I would do, I will not be authentic in that situation. Another area is where I want to fit in something. For example, when I was very little child, maybe my age was 5 or 6 years, me and my elder sister, we were branded as nice kids. ये दोनों बच्चे बहुत अच्छे हैं. And because of that, हम लोग कोई शरारत नहीं कर पाते थे. Because we had a fear that हमको एक brand मिल चुका है कि अच्छे बच्चे हैं, it will be broken. So we don't want to do any मौज मस्ती, and we didn't enjoy our childhood as much as we should have done that. Similarly, if there is any threat to safety, sleep or food, we are not going to, that will come in our way to become authentic. And this is very common, limited core belief. Some people believe that I'm too thin. Some people believe I'm too fat, I'm too dark, or I'm balding and things like that. It could be related to financial abilities. It could be related to destiny. So many of us will tell you, hey, I could have done something in Bollywood, but I don't have a godfather. Do you actually need it? No, but they believe because it is their core belief. Now, where is it coming from? So friend, it is coming from three factors, three important factors. One is our education, one is our experience, and one is our environment. If we put these three in place, we will know that we have been shaped like that by others. But can I change it now? Yes. The good news is now I can change it at my will. And that is what we are attempting to do. So what are the factors that will transform me to authenticity? Here are a few factors, and we are going to discuss them one by one. Self-awareness is the first. We have to look inside. And the best thing I liked about self-awareness is meditation, yoga, some free time for yourself where you sit down and ask few questions to yourself. Who am I? What I want to do? What is my real objective? If you ask these questions, these are my favorite questions. Who I think I am, what other people think I am, what I want other people to think I am, what other people actually think I am, and who am I in reality? And the last question, my friend, is the core question. Who am I really? Now the answer may be tough. Answer may be something you don't want to listen. But if you are ready, if you will listen to yourself, you'll get wonderful reply. At least you will pave the way for further growth. That is for sure. Empathy is another tool which will help us become authentic and convert our conversation into authentic conversation. What is empathy? I'm sure everyone knows this. Putting myself into other person's shoes. Looking at the things from your point of view, other person's point of view, and ask myself a question. If I would have been in that situation, how would I behave? Many people have so many complaints with their bosses. My boss behaves like this, puts me under a lot of pressure, scolds me. But the moment I put myself into my boss's shoes, I realize that it is so natural. I have got certain level of task. My boss has got 4 times more responsibility. And in that situation, if he or she is doing something, I think it may be justified. So the moment you use empathy, your outlook towards other people will completely change. Integrity is another factor. When you have integrity, what we do what we say and say what we do. So I'm not going to exaggerate things. I'm not going to hide things. And when I do that, I'm similar inside outside, and that will help me become authentic. I have needs, other people have needs. Now I don't have to play small in order to respect others. So I'm going to give you space because I'm using empathy. But using empathy doesn't mean that I become small and you become big. It's still at the equal level. It is still at democratic level. And that's what I am going to do. I have to take responsibility. Very simple, but very difficult to implement in life. No blame games, no criticism. And can I convert my language as what is my experience? Instead of saying, you are boring us, can I say, I'm getting bored? Just change a few words here and there, and I'm taking responsibility. Why don't you understand? Why I am not able to make you understand? I mean, look at the kids. I mean, how many times we say these words to our kids? Why don't you understand? Can I say, why I'm not able to make you understand? So the onus comes on me. And the moment I do that, I become more truthful. We also need to understand needs. What's my need and what are the needs of other people? The more I understand this both, physical needs we understand comparatively easier, but emotional needs are very, very important. So can I understand my and other people's emotional needs and try and reconcile them, align them, and then a lot of
I have a question.
Please.
I have a question here. On the slide before this,
Yes.
when you say I have taken responsibility, others, why other person hasn't understood what I want to put across, what I want to put across. Many times the other person is not open. They actually don't want to hear.
Okay.
Then what should you do? So they're not ready to face the facts, or they're not ready to face that authenticity.
Right. So always, whenever you are dealing with a person, there are two people, you and the other party. How much control you have on them? Very little.
None. Yeah.
Actually none, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes even our own family members, your spouse, your parents, your kids.
Maximum happens there.
Yes.
Outside you can listen to you out of courtesy.
Yes. Now, what do you do when you don't have control on them? Do you have control on yourself?
Yeah, just on
So
me.
at least can I play my role? So I do play my role. I become authentic. If they want to respond, their choice. If they don't want to respond, their choice. But I'm authentic. So I don't blame them. And if at all I feel that there is a mistake that has taken place from their point of view, I don't say that you have done wrong. I would say, I think that the mistake was at your end. So that addition, I think, is orienting things towards you. When I say a judgmental, you are wrong, or I think you have errored, rather than a criticism where you don't do things properly, I think there is a better way of doing things. Would you like to listen to it? So there's no guarantee that by doing all these things, things will absolutely improve, but there is a better chance that things will improve. Because when I say, Ashima, you don't know how to speak, you will feel bad. But when I say, Ashima, I would prefer if you speak in this particular manner to me, I think you will be more cooperative. Is it true?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, time permitting, we can take this in greater depth, and we can.
I have a
have
question.
more
I'll
thoughts.
take it offline with you.
Yes. Anyone else having any question or sharing?
Arun sir, I have a question in here.
Please.
Question in here. Then usually when we start mentioning that if I say you are not able to understand, I'm not able to breathe. If we do it on a regular basis, other person or I'm dealing with someone of some other person also. They start taking view consideration Ashley don't know anything. So that might come to negative feedback of mine. But I know it. But the other person respect. I am making myself. That might come to me. I'm talking to you with my practical. This happened in past days. So how
I'm really sorry, but because of the internet lag, I'm not able to understand your question completely. Please put it in the chat box. I will try to cover this little later.
I'll connect you later.
Okay, anytime. I'm sorry about it, but I could not understand, so unable to do justice with it. For the time being, I will just move ahead with this. So there is a part of social and cultural facet of authenticity. Do you like this car? Gold. Maybe yes.
Yes.
What if the reality is this? Does it actually happens in our life?
Yes.
Not exactly. I mean, this is an exaggerated, extreme example. It will not happen to this extent, but something similar happens in our social life.
Yes, for sure.
We always
For
try
sure.
to show off our better self. Better self tak chalo theek hai. But if that instead of better, I'm showing 5 times, 10 times, 50 times of what I am, maybe in terms of wealth, maybe in terms of wisdom, maybe in terms of my reach. I think all the great weddings is nothing but this. And the moment we are in that space, can we even think of being authentic? So this is where a huge level of courage will be required, that I am what I am, and still I have confidence that I will be accepted by my society. So it's a very difficult path, not that easy, but still, is it achievable? My personal take is yes, with great difficulty, but yes, we can achieve. As compared to individual one-to-one level, at social level, it becomes far more difficult. That's true. I agree. But still, it is possible. And there are people, there are examples. One very good example is past President KPJ Abdul Kalam. Everyone respects him. Nobody asks his religion. Nobody questions his wisdom. All walk of life people respect it. And his lifestyle is so simple. Right? So, what is the world? So this is a wonderful story. There was a person who was shifting from one village to another village. And while he was about to enter the new village in which he was going to shift, he encountered people. They were sitting under the tree, chit-chatting. So he just casually asked them that, sir, there was someone senior person. So he asked him that, sir, I'm shifting from this village to this village, but I'm curious to know what type of people stay in this particular village. Am I taking the right decision? So the wise man asked him a counter question that, well, first tell me that what kind of people you have in your village from where you are coming. He said, my God, sir, don't even ask me. So cunning, so ruthless, such dirty people. And that's the reason I'm shifting to this village. The wise person said, son, you have made a mistake. In this village also, similar people are staying. They're all cunning. They're all, crooks. While they were talking, another family arrived. Another gentleman had a similar question. Sir, I'm shifting to this village. Can you guide me? Is it the right place to live in? And the wise man again asked him the same question. What kind of people do you have from where you are coming? He said, sir, why? Wonderful, nice people. I really like them. They respect me. I respect them. We have got a great bonding. Sir, there is a particular reason related to my employment that I have to shift to this village. But I really don't, I feel so bad leaving my village. Nice people, so nice people. And the wise man says, wow, welcome. You have come to a right place. In this village, people are very nice. They will welcome you. And the first person, he is wondering, yaar, sir, abhi aapne thodi der pehle bola tha ki yahan to sab crooks hai, and now you are telling him people are good. He said, boss, बात ये है कि आपके जो माइंड में है, आपकी जो सोच है, आपको सारे लोग वही मिलेंगे. आपके जो अंदर में है, बाहर से आपको वैसे ही दिखने वाले. If internally you feel that people are bad, you will find all people bad. You will attract bad people and you will be able to see bad people. But when your inner says that people are good, you will attract and find all people who are good. So the world is your reflection. What you are inside, you will find the outside world similar to that. So in authentic conversation also, my friends, when we take care of the inner side first and make it bright, shining, you will realize that your conversation reflects that. Consciously, subconsciously, it reflects. And when it reflects, it creates, number one, very wonderful image of yours. 2, it avoids a lot of conflicts. And 3, people start liking you. And there is a fact that when it comes to friendship, when it comes to doing business, people want to do business with whom they like. People want to do business whom they trust. People like to do business with whom they respect. And the same is true with personal life also. So a lot of things to gain, a lot of gain. If I'm authentic inside and my authenticity is visible from outside in my conversation. So that's the entire object of this talk. I hope I was able to do justice to this talk, and there's hardly any time. Otherwise, I would
Arun,
I would love to do it on one-to-one level offline. Yes, and with this, over to you, Professor Mani.
All right. Thanks, Arun. That was truly authentic, right from the bottom of your heart. Very, very meaningful, frank sharing of so many of not only concepts, but how they are applied. And I think the visuals and the examples that you took made a lot of connection possible with this whole concept. Someone often says no, that in a conversation, dil se ho raha hai ki nahi pata chal jata hai. And you did mention even how this entire concept of neuro-linguistic programming or body language has a direct connection on the entire approach to authenticity of a conversation. It was wonderful interacting with you. I guess there will be a few minutes for a couple of questions. If anybody would like to ask something, would like to reflect on a point Arun made, we can certainly stretch by about 5 minutes or so. Feel free, push it into the chat box, or you can just unmute and ask the question. Arun, I have one question which had already come in the chat box initially, which I'll begin. In the meantime, people can think.
Sure.
All that you said makes good sense, but can you give some pointers how to distinguish an authentic conversation versus a non-authentic conversation? Well, how do you get the signals? How do you read them?
Yes. So for that, our body gives a signal. Let's say if I'm saying something which is, let me give an example. So there's a young girl, teenager. Her mother asks her that, "Beta, kal sham ko 4 baje main tere ko dhoond rahi thi, kahan thi?" Now, in reality, she was with her boyfriend. But she don't want to tell this to mom because पता है बोलेंगे तो डांट पड़ेगी. So she says, "Mom, मैं कॉलेज के फ्रेंड्स के साथ में थी." थोड़ी देर बाद कॉलेज के फ्रेंड्स मिलते हैं and then they ask, "अरे कहाँ थी?" "अरे मम्मी ने मेरे को शॉपिंग के लिए भेजा." Then नेबरहुड के कुछ लोग मिलते हैं, वो पूछते हैं, "अरे कल कितना ढूंढ रहे थे तेरे को, कहाँ थी?" "नहीं, कल तो मेरे को कॉलेज का एक असाइनमेंट करना था." जितने ग्रुप सबको अलग अलग बात बोल दी. Unfortunately, in the evening there is a party and all these people are invited to that party. Can she enjoy the party?
Good example.
Her body will give signal, अरे यार ये सारे एक साथ नहीं बैठ जाएं और मेरा वाला टॉपिक ना छिड़ जाए. If that happens, I'm exposed, right? As compared to, suppose she would have been truthful. She would have told her mom that I was with my boyfriend. So definitely scolding तो मिलने वाली है. But वो scolding को लेने के बाद में, after that, is she comfortable throughout the evening? Can enjoy the evening? Can be very open? So वो body में से signal आते हैं. And in order to read those signals, every one of us can read the signals. But if you want to master it, then there are two things which will help us. That is meditation and yogic exercises. ये आप करते हैं तो आपकी sharpness और बढ़ जाएगी इसको read करने में.
Wonderful. I'm almost reminded of what we often discuss in training called prisoner's dilemma. That if both of them tell the truth, they can escape, or both of them tell falsehood, they can escape. But if it's one of them saying one of each, then you're in trouble, like you rightly said at this point in time. Makes a lot of sense. The other question that is there in the minds of people is, when we are talking about digital communication, which is now becoming a way of life for us because of the lockdown and the changing scenario around us, how easy or difficult is it to detect authenticity? In a face-to-face communication, you have the advantage of NLP and body language.
Yeah.
How easy or difficult is it in digital?
Yeah. So it is difficult, but still there is a way. I would like to give one example. Whenever there is a webinar like this, many people will switch off their audio video and go away. So it is difficult to gauge whether they are there or not. But then there is a way. You have some quiz, you have some question, request them to say yes or no. Those who are saying yes are there, those who are saying no are there, those who are not saying anything, probably they are not there. So you can, devise methods to know. Yeah, a lot of things are fake. On Facebook, you see happy faces, happy selfie, how happy they are in real life. You have 5,000 friends on Facebook. How many real friends you have? So there is a huge gap in what we are showing on the social media, on digital platform, and what really we are. So yes, I definitely agree that it's a very difficult task, because the gap between the reality and what we are projecting is very big, and it is unhealthy. Now the question is, what about you personally? Individually, if you want, you can bridge the gap. The world may or may not do it. You don't have to bother about them. You have to bother mainly about yourself, that at least can I bridge my gap? You will lead a better life.
Sure, I guess the gap between the real and the virtual, the bigger the gap, the greater the discomfort, as they say. Or as you said, the lesser the gap, you are the happier person in that sense.
Yes.
Right, there's one more here in the chat box which has come to me, and that is you have a lot of experience in the field of training. How can we use some of these principles in the classroom or the training room?
Well, again, I would like to give one example. So I was conducting a training on public speaking, and someone asked me that what is the difference between impromptu training and this one more concept I'm just forgetting.
মানে ওই আমাদের ইনজেকশন পোর্টালে যতটুকু হবে তার দিয়েও কম তিন চার জায়গা
Unfortunately, I was not very clear between the difference between the two, but my fear was I'm a trainer, I'm supposed to know, and if I say I don't know, तो मेरा तो मतलब इज्जत का भाजीपाला हो जाएगा, that kind of thing. So I said what to do. So I was tempted to give them a made up answer. गोल गोल घुमा के कुछ भी आंसर मेरे देने की मन में आई, but then I stopped myself. Hold on, there is Google, they may find out. So I told them, thank you very much for this question, wonderful question, but right now I'm not aware about it. I will check and let you know. Next day, before I could come and start my class, someone said, sir, I googled on internet and this is the answer. I said fine. So the point is that it is difficult. It looks like losing my face, but the face losing would have been greater if I would have given them false answer. So can I restrict my temptation at that point of time and be honest? However, in order to be honest, I don't have to use crude words like I don't know. I said, wow, what a question, even I never thought about it. So I tried and converted it into little positive side. So that is how I have to be honest, and still I can be polite. I can make it sound very positive. That's what I think a trainer should be doing.
I think that's a very good example. And as we say, trainers are also human beings.
Yes.
There are things they may not know. And it's always better to make an attempt to learn and come and share it back than try to bluff your way through. I think that's a wonderful way of presenting the whole thing. I remember once someone saying that if you speak the truth, you don't have to remember what you said earlier.
Yeah.
That's precisely the point that we are trying to make over here. Wonderful. I think, as they say, you've really fascinated all of us, Arun, with your thought processes. And what made a lot of impact was the wonderful examples. We'd love to go on, but I think we always believe in respecting time. We also believe that sometimes it's good to have a trailer so that you can get excited to learn more about this concept as you go on. Feel free to respond to Arun and reach out to him. One of our participants, Praveen, had put in right early in the chat box, and I was waiting to say that Arun is a kind of person who's very happy to support, guide, help anybody who reaches out to him. So you can always reach across to him if there is some interest in knowing a little more about this whole idea. Thanks, Arun, once again. I'd like to request my colleague on the executive committee, Chintan Oza, to please do a wrap up of this session and also propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Chintan.
Thank you, Mani sir. Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Arunji. Definitely, this was an interesting and insightful session. Today we learned the nuances of authentic conversations. In my view, to converse is human, and conversations are food for the soul. Authentic conversation with learned people are always priceless. So we need to learn how to converse to get the value, the knowledge, and the right question leads us to the right answer. So authentic conversation with learned people, as I just said, they are priceless, and it enables us to be brave to start the conversation that matters. So what to be asked, how to be asked, and how do you engage with person in the right moment? That is another crucial skill which would be in demand in this age of machines. So thanks, Arunji, for this refreshing session and enabling us to have the knowledge for having the original, real, and pure, authentic conversations. Thanks everyone for your active participation, and thanks Mani sir for giving me this opportunity to extend vote of thanks for my friend Arunji. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. And as we would always do to preserve this memory, may I request everybody to put on their videos so that we have a group photograph with Arun and share this lovely time that we spent together with him. Please put on your cameras, and while you do that, let me quickly tell you that next Wednesday in the Wednesday Wisdom webinar, we have invited the Chief Executive Officer of the Delhi International Airport Limited, Shri Viday Kumar. He's going to talk to us about the changing experience of using airports and aircrafts and flights. And I think it's a very topical area of interest and relevance to all of us. And the week after that, we are having a session by Nishat from KPMG. She heads KPMG HR in India. She's going to talk about the future of work, but the fifth dimension. And coming from a consulting firm like KPMG, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interesting things that we are going to pick up from there. Day after tomorrow is one of the most interesting sessions in our wellness series. A lot of people are facing issues of anxiety, hypertension, diabetes. So as part of our wellness series, we have invited two leading medical practitioners of Mumbai, Dr. Vishwanathan and Dr. Roy Patankar. They're going to talk to us about how to take care of our heart and how to take care of our stomach so that we are fitter and finer as we try to get on to back to work in the unlock scenario. These and such programs are available to all our BMA members. Feel free to join us in the BMA family by becoming a member and continue to be part of this learning process. Oindrila, Lakshmi, and Supriya, the efficient staff of Bombay Management Association, also double up as the digital photography experts. Please give them those 2-3 minutes. Lakshmi has already confirmed that she's taken some of the pictures of screen 1. Screen 2 will also happen. In the meantime, your feedback is also welcome. Any suggestions for future programs too are most welcome. I'm so glad that Arun could make it here despite the short notice. While we always have experts from industry coming in, we strongly don't believe that ghar ki murgi dal barabar. We believe that ghar mein bahut sare अच्छे लोग हैं जिनकी काफी हैसियत है, ज्ञान है And I'm so delighted that people like Chintan, Jagmohan, who are already delivered such sessions on the BMA platform, are ever ready to come back and sit and learn when a colleague is sharing something interesting. So very, very grateful to you, Arun. And Lakshmi confirms that all of us are on the pictures. Look forward to our continued interaction in time to come. Stay safe, stay blessed, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.